Have you ever, like, I don't know, thought about just calling up an AI like it was, a friend or something? Well, get this.
Yeah.
Now you kind of can.
Wow.
There's this new service.
Okay.
It's called 1-800-CHAT-GPT.
Oh, interesting.
Basically, it's ChatGPT,
Right.
but on the phone.
So you call a number and you're
Yeah.
talking to ChatGPT.
Just dial the number and you're talking to it.
Wow.
No app, no screen, just, conversation.
That's pretty wild.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to take a deep dive into that today, see what it could mean for how we, interact with AI in the future. Like, what does it mean for accessibility? What are the implications of that?
Yeah, that's a really interesting angle. I mean, I've used ChatGPT through, the website and stuff, but I never thought about just being able to call it up.
I know. It's such a different way of thinking about it.
It is. So for people who might not know, can we do a quick, ChatGPT 101, what is it, how does it work, that kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
So ChatGPT, it's basically this really powerful language model.
Right.
And it was made by this company called OpenAI.
Mm-hmm.
And what's cool about it is it was trained on a massive amount of data.
Yeah.
Like text and code.
I've heard, yeah, it's a crazy amount of information.
And so because of that, it can understand and generate text.
Okay.
That sounds super human-like.
Yeah.
When you ask it questions or give it prompts.
Yeah.
So you could literally ask it to write you a poem.
Really?
You could ask it to explain, I don't know, quantum physics or something.
Oh, wow.
Or you could even just have a chat with it about your day.
Interesting.
And now we can do all that by
Yeah.
literally just calling a number.
That's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is mind-blowing. And our source material is, pointing out that this could be huge for accessibility, especially for people who maybe aren't super comfortable with, all the technology.
Yeah.
Or people who maybe have a harder time typing or using apps.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's a really important point. Not everybody has the same level of comfort with tech.
Right.
Or even access to it, right?
Yeah.
Not everyone has the latest smartphone or whatever.
Exactly.
So this voice-based approach, it could really, bridge that gap, make AI more inclusive.
Yeah.
Imagine, someone who has trouble using a touch screen,
Right.
They could still use this to, I don't know, get information or get help with tasks or even just have, a friendly chat with the AI.
And that actually brings up another interesting thing that the source material mentions.
Okay.
Which is that a lot of people are finding this whole experience surprisingly smooth.
Yep.
And fun.
That's cool. Right.
Which makes me wonder, how does this even work technically?
Right.
How can ChatGPT, understand us over a phone call?
Right.
And then how does it respond back to us?
Yeah.
What's the
magic behind the scenes?
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, there's a couple of key technologies that are working together here.
Okay.
First, when you speak, right, your voice gets converted into text.
Okay.
And that's using speech-to-text technology.
Okay.
And then that text, that gets sent over to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT processes it,
Right.
generates a response,
Okay.
and then that response gets converted back into speech using text-to-speech.
Gotcha.
And that's what you hear through the phone.
So it's like a real-time translation.
Yeah, exactly. It's happening super fast.
Wow. So
Yeah.
the source material also mentions that people are using this for
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
Some people are using it to get quick facts.
Oh, interesting.
Some people are even using it as a language learning tool.
That's a cool idea.
What are some other practical applications you see emerging from this?
Well, I mean, the possibilities they're pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Imagine, for example, a student, right? They could use this to get help with their homework or someone learning a new language.
Yeah.
They could use it to practice their speaking, right?
Okay.
And then, don't forget about customer service, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of having to go through those complicated phone menus, press 1 for this, press 2 for that.
I hate those.
You could just talk to the AI.
Yeah.
And it could understand what you need, direct you to the right person.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
It's very futuristic,
Yeah.
Something straight out of a movie.
Totally.
Yeah.
But with any new technology, I imagine there could be some downsides, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, as impressive as this tech is, we have to remember that ChatGPT, like any AI, it's not perfect. it has limitations.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it can, give inaccurate info
Right.
or misleading info.
Mm.
And, it can also be influenced by like biases, right? Because it was trained on this massive data set of text. And that text reflects, all the good and bad of the world.
Totally.
So, we shouldn't rely on it completely for like super important things, right?
Right.
Or like really sensitive info.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a tool, but we have to use it wisely.
Right. It's a good reminder to always think critically about the information we're getting.
Exactly.
From any source.
No matter what.
So, wrapping up, we have this incredibly powerful AI.
Yeah.
And it's now accessible through something as, familiar as a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a simple shift,
right,
but could have huge implications.
I agree. It really makes you wonder, like, what's next? If we can now access AI through a phone call, what other unexpected ways might we be interacting with this technology in the future? It's something to think about.
Definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
Well, that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.